My name is Michael Tran, 52 years old, and for 15 years, I was the lead customer service manager at Horizon Solutions, a mid-sized tech firm in Austin, Texas, specializing in software for retail chains. Our team of 12 handled thousands of client queries monthly, from troubleshooting software glitches to guiding store managers through updates. We weren't flashy, but we were reliable, with a 98% satisfaction rate that kept clients like Westfield Retail loyal for over a decade. That is, until our new CEO, Ethan Caldwell, 34, fresh from Silicon Valley with a shiny Stanford MBA, decided we were too human for his vision of the future. It was a Monday morning when Ethan called me into his glass-walled office. He leaned back in his ergonomic chair, sipping kombucha, and said, "Michael, we're replacing your team with AI chatbots. They're faster, cheaper, and don't need coffee breaks." He smirked, sliding a termination letter across the desk. "Nothing personal, just progress. We can hire 3 AI developers for your salary alone." I stared at the letter, my stomach tightening. 15 years of training staff, resolving crises, and knowing every client's quirks, reduced to a single page. "What about the team?" I asked, keeping my voice steady. Ethan shrugged. "They're out too. The chatbot's already in beta. We'll roll it out at the Westfield demo in 2 weeks. You'll get 2 months severance. Generous, right?" Generous? I thought of my team. People like Sarah, a single mom who'd worked nights to earn her degree, or Raj, who could calm any irate client in under a minute. I thought of my daughter, Lily, starting college next year, and my wife, Karen, who'd supported me through every late-night shift. But I didn't argue. I nodded, signed the exit papers, and walked out, my ID badge still warm in my hand. As I cleared my desk, Sarah caught my eye, her face pale. "Is it true?" she whispered. I nodded. "Check your email." The team gathered, stunned, as HR sent termination notices one by one. No one spoke. I packed a small box, photos of Lily, a best manager mug from the team, a stress ball from a client, and left without looking back. In the parking lot, my phone buzzed, a text from Raj. "They're replacing us with a bot? This is insane." At home, Karen placed a coffee mug in front of me as I stared at Lake Travis from our deck. "What now?" she asked. I shrugged. Something will turn up. But inside, I was burning. Not just at the betrayal, but at Ethan's arrogance. He hadn't even tested the chatbot properly. I'd seen the beta reports, glitches, canned responses, clients frustrated by its inability to handle complex issues. Horizon was betting everything on a demo for Westfield, their biggest client. And I knew it would fail. The question was, could I prove it? Horizon Solutions started as a scrappy startup when I joined in 2010. Back then, it was just 20 of us in a cramped office, building software for local retailers. I created the customer service department from scratch, hiring people who could think on their feet, not just read scripts. We grew with the company, supporting 200 stores across 5 states. When the founder retired 3 years ago, a venture capital firm took over, and things changed. Quarterly profits trumped long-term loyalty. They hired Ethan 6 months ago to disrupt the industry, and he was obsessed with AI, calling it the future of customer service. The warning signs were there. Ethan rejected my proposal for a hybrid system, chatbots for simple queries, humans for complex ones. Too expensive, he said. He brought in AI developers, young grads who knew code but not clients. They shadowed my team, asking basic questions about workflows. I answered, but I noticed they didn't grasp the nuances, like how Westfield's managers needed detailed walkthroughs for software updates, or how a single wrong answer could cost a store thousands in downtime. A week before my termination, Ethan stopped by my desk. "Big demo coming up," he said casually. "Westfield's watching. The chatbot's going to blow them away." I should have seen the firing coming, but I was too busy training my replacement, a machine. The first call came 3 days after I was fired. I was updating my resume when my phone rang. Ethan's name flashed on the screen. I let it go to voicemail. "Michael, it's Ethan. We're having issues with the chatbot during testing. It's struggling with some queries. Could you consult for a day? We'd pay $200 an hour." I deleted the message. 2 hours later, Sarah texted, "Bots bombing. Clients are pissed. Ethan's freaking out." That night, I dug into my old laptop, where I'd backed up training manuals and client feedback from Horizon. I wasn't supposed to keep them, but 15 years of habit die hard. The manuals detailed every scenario we'd trained for: escalations, software bugs, even how to handle a manager yelling about a crashed POS system. The chatbot, I knew, couldn't adapt like we did. I also found a beta report I'd reviewed. 40% of complex queries failed, with the bot looping or giving irrelevant answers. Ethan had ignored it. The next morning, Karen noticed me poring over the files. "You're not letting this go, are you?" she said. "They're about to crash," I replied. "And I'm not helping them, but I need to be ready." Ready for what? I wasn't sure, until I got an email from Nexus Tech, a competitor specializing in retail software. Their VP, Linda Hayes, wrote, "Michael, I heard about Horizon. We've admired your team's work. Interested in discussing opportunities?" I replied, setting a meeting for the following day. That afternoon, Raj called. "Mike, it's chaos. The chatbot's failing basic tests. Westfield's demo is in 9 days, and Ethan's yelling at everyone." He paused. "I kept a log of the bot's errors. Want me to send it?" I hesitated. Taking company data was risky, but Raj was already out the door. "Send it," I said. Raj's log was gold. Hundreds of failed interactions, from the bot misinterpreting refund queries to crashing during multi-step troubleshooting. I cross-referenced it with my manuals, building a case. The chatbot wasn't ready, and Ethan knew it. But I needed more. I called Sarah, who was still at Horizon, too scared to quit with a kid to support. "Can you get me into the demo?" I asked. She paused. "That's crazy, Mike, but I'll try." 2 days later, Ethan showed up at my house, his Tesla parked crookedly in my driveway. "Michael, we're in a bind," he said, adjusting his smartwatch. "The chatbot's hitting snags. We need your expertise for the demo. $500 an hour, 1 day." I leaned against the doorframe, thinking of my team, discarded like obsolete code. "I'm busy," I said. "Got an interview tomorrow." His jaw tightened. "You know this could hurt your reputation. Refusing to help looks petty." I smiled. "I'll take that risk." I closed the door and went back to my laptop. The Nexus meeting was a revelation. Linda, a no-nonsense woman in her 50s, knew my work from industry conferences. "Your team's reputation is stellar," she said over coffee. "We're launching a retail support division, but we need someone who understands clients, not just tech. Interested in leading it?" She offered a director role, 25% more than my Horizon salary, plus stock options. "Why me?" I asked. Linda laughed. "We tried AI chatbots. They tanked with our clients. We need human expertise." I accepted on the spot. Meanwhile, Horizon was unraveling. Sarah texted daily updates. "Bots still failing. Ethan's blaming the developers." She slipped me a guest pass for the Westfield demo, posing as a vendor rep. "Be careful," she warned. "Ethan's paranoid." I spent the next week preparing. Using Raj's log and my manuals, I created a script of queries the chatbot would likely fail. complex, real-world scenarios from Westfield stores. I also found an old admin login for Horizon's testing server. Still active. Against my better judgment, I logged in, downloading the Chatbots' latest code. It was a mess. Rushed, poorly documented, and riddled with bugs. The demo was at Horizon's headquarters, a sleek building buzzing with Westfield execs, investors, and press. I slipped in with my vendor badge, heart pounding. Sarah met me in the lobby, whispering, "Ethan's pitching the bot as a game changer. If it fails, he's done." The conference room was packed, with a large screen showing the chatbot interface. Ethan stood at the front, all smiles. "Our AI, Horizon Care, handles any query with speed and precision," he boasted. "Let's test it live." A Westfield VP, Maria Chen, raised her hand. "Can it troubleshoot a POS crash during peak hours?" Ethan nodded, typing the query. The bot responded with a generic, "Restart the system" message. Maria frowned. "That doesn't work if the server's down. What's the next step?" The bot looped, repeating the same answer. Murmurs spread through the room. Ethan's smile faltered. "Let's try another," he said, typing a refund query. The bot suggested a coupon, irrelevant to the issue. Maria's face hardened. "This isn't what we signed up for." I stepped forward, holding my tablet. "May I try a query?" Ethan's eyes narrowed, recognizing me. "This is a private demo," he snapped. Maria intervened. "Let him. I want to see what this bot can do." I typed a query from my script. "Manager reports a software update locked out staff accounts. Urgent. Store closing in 30 minutes. The bot froze, then crashed, displaying an error code. Gasps filled the room. Ethan stammered, "That's an edge case. We'll patch it." "It's not an edge case," I said, projecting my tablet onto the screen. "Here's a log of 200 similar failures from your beta tests, ignored by management." I showed Raj's data, highlighting the bot's 40% failure rate on complex queries. "Your team was trained for these scenarios. You replace them with this." Maria stood. "Ethan, we need to talk. Now." The room erupted in chaos as investors grilled Ethan. He glared at me, but I was already leaving. That night, Linda called from Nexus. "Westfield's considering us for their contract," she said. "They're impressed with your stunt. Can you start Monday?" I agreed, feeling a weight lift. Horizon's board fired Ethan 2 days later, after Westfield pulled their contract. Sarah texted, "They're begging for consultants. Raj and I are joining Nexus." I didn't respond. I was too busy sketching Nexus's support system. Humans and AI, working together, the way it should have been. A year later, I stood in Nexus's new Austin office, now managing a 20-person team. Westfield signed a 5-year deal praising our hybrid approach. I trained every rep myself, using manuals I'd written, ensuring no single point of failure. Linda promoted me to VP of Customer Success, with a corner office overlooking the city. One morning, I got an email from Ethan, now at a failing startup. "Michael, any openings at Nexus? I've learned my lesson." I didn't reply. Some lessons I'd learned are best taught by failure. As I drove home along Lake Travis, Lily's college acceptance letter on the passenger seat, I thought about value. Not just of experience, but of doing things right. I hadn't sought revenge. I'd built something better and let the results speak. That was enough.